it's me, Renee. I'm back. So this is my mini contemporary wrap-up, because if you don't know, there was a mini contemporary readathon last weekend. It was, so in other words, it was from, let me just check out the dates, so it's just all clear. It was from the Friday 22nd. It lasted all, and it finished on this Monday actually, so it's actually a free day. So yeah, from 22nd till 25th. It was Memorial Day in the States. That's not a thing here, but yeah. So it was a 3-day weekend. Well, 3-day readathon and a weekend over there. Yep. So yeah, I finished. It's a bit weird. Well, sorry. Yes, I finished one book. I was about to say finished, and I thought like, what? No. Yes, I did. All the books you have to remember when you're doing wrap up. A bit late. Yeah, anyway, I finished one book, and then I listened to more in 2 books. I did 2 audiobooks. Well, okay, technically I listened to 3 audiobooks, though the third one is a bit cheating, because that's not contemporary, it's crime and historical. But I listened to it the same weekend, so yeah, I cheated. Oh, I was cheated, but like, yeah. So that's kind of bad, I suppose, but my god. Stupid lipstick. I'm just gonna open up my mouth now. Is that better? Is that better? Better? Yeah, probably is. Probably is. Okay, so yeah. I listened to 2 audiobooks and finished one. No, 3 audiobooks and finished one book. And I'll just go with the one I finished first. Alright. So first, I finished The Endless Speech by Jenny Colgan. And you might notice this is a weird cover. Well, weird title. It's because it's Norwegian version of it. That's why. I'm Norwegian. I YouTube in English, but I'm Norwegian. And yeah, my plan with this one was to read it and really enjoy it. My plan to read and just enjoy it. But of course, like sometimes, like you read a book for a specific purpose. And yeah, as I work in a bookstore, sometimes it's good to like have books you can recommend. And we have this book. We just got this book in for sale, so I thought like, oh, I might like this. I'll read it and hopefully I can recommend it. Yeah. I can't say highly recommend it. Like if anyone asks me like later today, because I'm going to work shift later today. If anyone asks me, do I have anything to recommend? I wouldn't say you have to read this one. Though if they want to read something good, I would say this is not a bad choice, because yeah, this book was not amazing in my opinion, but it wasn't worthless. It was worth my time. Yes, it was. But okay, so just to go a bit deeper into it, really. This is the second book in a series, though the author has included like a summary of the first book in the beginning, so you don't really need to read the first book. I think if you read the first book, you might enjoy this one more. But I don't know. Maybe not. I'm not. Uh, I'm not. I can't really say. But yeah. So this book, it takes place in Scotland in a small island, and that's a fun setting. It has a big cast of characters. There's not really one protagonist. It's set around all different people. I would say it's slightly more around like one family, but it's more or less focuses on all of them. And normally I really enjoy big casts, and they also have different point of views. So like you have the point of views of all the cast, more or less. Well, yes, more or less it is. But this one was kind of was annoying. It was kind of confusing. Also, I suppose, yeah, confusing because it went from like having the the first paragraph in chapter 2 could be from uh, Flora, and then second paragraph in the same chapter on the same page could be from the point of view of Joel. So it's like, what, you're mixing within the same page, and like I suppose some books do that, but normally they have like the name of the character at the at the top, and then like Simon, and then a paragraph or a chapter with him, and then Flora, and then a chapter with her. Here, you didn't have the names, so you just kind of have to like get used to like, oh, okay, well, in this person's head. So it's a bit, yeah, honestly, I would say it's a bit jarring, really. I really didn't really enjoy that, so that was a bit of a for me. And there was a twist in this one, but I felt the twist didn't really work. It was kind of a weird twist, I would say. And the romance was fine, but didn't really love it either. And yeah, honestly, I would say like this book was fine. It wasn't anything bad with it directly. It wasn't like this character was written poorly or something like that. It was just I felt like a lot of it could be done a lot better. So yeah, so that's that, Sally. That's my verdict on Endless Beach by Jenny Colgan. Endless Beach. Why did I say that? I don't know. But yeah, I also, as I said, I also listened to two audiobooks, three, but I'm gonna talk about two of them. One of them is Maybe This Time by Casey West. I started that one on Tuesday, so the 21st, but I listened more to it during the weekend. But primarily I listened to actually By the Book by Amanda Sellens, so I kind of swapped between those two. But I focused a lot on By the Book. I was really intrigued by that one. So maybe this time I'll just give a quick overview. Maybe this time, as I said, by Casey West. It's her newest book, one of her newest, I think. It's about a teenager who wants to go to design school in New York, and to get money for that, she has to work in a florist, or that's the only place she could get a job in her small town. She doesn't really like flowers, flowers that much, but she feels like she needs money. And this book takes place during, I think, more or less a year, during different events where she has to work. So like, it's Mother's Day, it's Valentine's. It starts with Valentine's, and then you have Mother's Day, and then you have 4th of July, etc., etc. And then through in all these events, she also meets the son of the chef that is catering this stuff. And she and him don't really get along that much. They crash a lot. So that's interesting and fun, though it's kind of like you kind of know they'll get together in the end. And I don't know, I'm not loving it, but I'm finding it enjoyable. And I might love it more after a while. I mean, sometimes you don't really love a book before the end because how everything wraps up. So yeah. By the book, the other book I'm reading is by Amanda Sellers. Well, listening to, you get the gist. It's by Amanda Sellers. It's her debut book, and it's a book about a girl who has to switch schools because her old school is being closed. So she has to uh, get used to a new school. So it's kind of fish out of water, jarring stuff like that. So that's relatable and fun. She also loves to read. She loves to read classics though, so that's kind of like distancing stuff for me because I don't really like classics that much. Well, I haven't read that many, but I often don't really like them that much. But still, still, I don't know what I'm doing, but still, you can relate to her passion for books that shines through really. And yeah, she often narrates her life like it was a book, and she wants her life to be more dramatic. And yeah, of course, stuff happens in a book. And every chapter it starts with like a reference to a different classic book, and I'm really enjoying it. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I will say actually, by the book, I'm actually loving it. It's just so good. Like, it's this quirky. It's set in this quirky small town where they have a university, but they also have like lots of bookstores, lots of indie bookstores. There's no chain bookstores, but there's lots of indie bookstores. Kind of weird how it's small enough to not being able to have chain bookstores, but lots of small indie bookstores. It's viable. I suppose that's kind of weird, but still, it's fun. It's really fun to like hear like, oh, that bookstore used to be owned by the same people, but then they divorced, and then one of them has to serve drinks, and one of them have to serve cakes because they can't mix them, and it's just like quirky and fun, and yeah, I'm really enjoying it. The love story in this one is kind of, I mean, so far it's not clear who the love interest is, or like who the love interest will be, like who she'll end up with. I suppose in this book it could be that she ends up alone. It's not like, I wouldn't say like it's a romance. It's more like a contemporary with a romance on the side. But yeah, the main love interest that she might be going for, I'm thinking like, I don't really like you that much, but that could change. Who knows? And yeah, so far I'm really, really enjoying it. And yeah, that's my wrap up for the contemporary mini readathon. I'll link Julie for pages and pens in the doobly, as well as my reading is odd, which is Natasha. And yeah, I'll see you later. Have a nice time. Renee out.